So I'm Jacob. I'm the Director for England at Housing Justice. Housing Justice is a housing and homelessness charity, and specifically in London we run a hosting project for destitute migrants, matching them up with people with spare rooms. And we support a network of faith and community groups, or act as a safety net, I suppose, for London. But these are massive challenges in London. It's the biggest city in Britain, it's got the biggest rough sleeping population in Britain, and there are some real serious issues to address there. It's also the case that the part of the homelessness sector that we work in has a higher prevalence of people who aren't from the UK. So churches and faith groups traditionally have always opened their doors and given sanctuary to people. And that continues to be the case. So we see about 75% of people using shelters. And so about 450 emergency beds are provided by churches, synagogues, mosques in all boroughs of London, and we support those groups, those night shelter organisations, to move people on from that accommodation, to make sure that we're not just warehousing some people through the winter, but that we're working progressively through the winter, through the time they're in the shelter, to move on from rough sleeping and ultimately not return to the street. We also run a hosting project where we take somebody with a spare room and we match them with a migrant who's been referred to us, usually through the night shelters. We provide some casework, work with a partner to put some immigration advice in as well, and ultimately that supports that person over a period of time to move on out of homelessness and not return to the street or to insecure accommodation. It's absolutely possible to end rough sleeping. We know because we came so close during those first 18 months or so of the pandemic, and what it takes is conviction from policymakers. The public needs to stay on their back and make sure it's a #1 priority for policymakers. And we as practitioners in the homelessness sector need to refine that spirit of collaboration we had during the pandemic. And I think with that kind of mentality, it's absolutely achievable, and it should be everybody's #1 priority.